Nobody knows the real truth. Nobody knows why this island figured in the scheme of time. Neither those who arrived here in the past, nor those who presently run along the limit of an uncertain future. No one. Out of the fears, anxieties, insomnia and torments of those who reach this place, only traces remain. The traces of their worries, ambition, violence, piety. Every single inch of ground on this island has felt the weight of its fragility, the humidity of its tears and sweat, the dryness of its mouth, the coldness of its burning eyes. No beaches, cliffs, no slopes, no lava, no caves, no mountains remained out of reach of the guests at the feast of craziness, of creation, perpetuity, of life and death. They walked from their arrival without resting, following the direction of complete disorientation, looking for what their souls didn't need. They formed new profiles in the core, built new cliffs upon the spray, unified the islands with new lava, colonized the tides with new corals, opened new horizons, came closer to the new gods with stares of faith, designed new wrinkles on the marine fire's face, fed new forms of life on the infertile plains. Now that they have reached the limit where past and future meet, they pretend to descend to the hell of darkness, looking for the potion of life. The truth is not hidden under the sands, nor behind the fissures, within the lava or among the ashes. Truth about Lanzarote is hidden in the stars that come down from the dreams of those who cross its soil with heroic feet. Breathe the air of will, sweat the drops of tenacity. Only those who look up above the limits, search within the impossible, tear apart the limits of time and space, fly within the waters of solid material and let the thoughts submerge in particles of nothing. Only these will understand why, and will know the truth that the other ones couldn't find.
A new day dawns on the island of Lanzarote in the Canary Archipelago, but this is not no normal day. It's a special day as 800 athletes from around the world have gathered to take on what is undoubtedly the toughest challenge in sport, the Ironman. And with the Ironman, there are no barriers, especially age.
It's my birthday, I'm 40 and it's my first Ironman.
55.
36 years old.
Tengo 43 años.
I'm 46. Too old for that, what I'm gonna do. 43.
I'm 35.
40. 35.
38. Aye. 40.
By the time I finish, probably 60.
32. 42.
Oh, 20, no, 30. 3. 33. 48 years.
24. 50 years.
61.
64, 64.
42.
32.
29.
I'm 61 years old.
29.
Nearly 65.
I'm a youngster, I'm only 50.
Well, since 1992, athletes have been coming to this volcanic island, Lanzarote, to take on Canarias Ironman, the Ironman of Lanzarote. The Ironman, well, you swim. You swim 2.4 miles, that's 3.8 kilometers. And then you jump on your bike and you bike around the island. It's 112 miles, 180 kilometers. And finally, if that's not enough, you run a marathon, 26.2 miles or 42 kilometers. The Ironman, the toughest of sporting challenges for any individual. Well, it did start here in 1992, and just over 100 brave souls started in those days. But today, it's the biggest field ever. Over 800 athletes will start to take on the challenge of the Ironman. 800 athletes, 800 bikes, and it takes quite some time to fill up the Parc Fermé, the transition, the metamorphosis from swimmer to biker, then biker to runner. As the sun sets, it's an early night for most, the nerves are tingling, and they know what will follow the following morning. It's an early start, early preparations to get ready for this, the longest day. For the best, well, that'll be under 9 hours, and the slowest, they'll be trying to break that 17-hour limit. Well, they're gathering on the beaches here in Puerto del Carmen to prepare themselves to get ready for this ocean swim. Defending champion is Virginia Berasategui.
You know, my dream since I started with triathlon was to win an Ironman, and so I realized my dream last year. So for me was the best moment, no, of my career. Yes, the last 2 kilometers when I see that I was going to win, it was like you know, I was flying, and it was like I was doing nothing, and a lot of energy, and I just wanted to cry and to shout out and to express what I was feeling to all the people. No, for me it was my moment, and it was impossible to not to cry and not to to be happy, you know.
She's certainly happy once again to be on the beach here to start to defend her title. Defending champion, the Frenchman René Rivera, is not here, but number 2 is Stefan Liebertrau, and he has great memories here.
I have great memories in this race, not even only the second place I had last year, also the failures I had here were interesting days in my life. I wouldn't even miss the failures, and yeah, I was a happy man last year, but of course the further the race was away, the more I dreamt about doing the last step to the first place, and I've prepared, really focused on this race. I've been on this island more than 3 months through the winter, and so I've done everything to do well.
That's Felix Martinez, twice finishing third here.
Quizás el año pasado y el anterior, los días previos de la carrera, me estaba encontrando muy bien y por eso pues pensaba que lo podía incluso hacer mejor de la tercera posición. Este año llevo unos días que no me encuentro demasiado bien, llevo un mes que no he estado como el año pasado en los entrenamientos y bueno, quizás para mí personalmente vengo menos presionado. Voy a hacer mi carrera, si me sale bien, bien, y si no tampoco me voy a disgustar tanto como podría haberme disgustado otros años.
So here is Enrico Lanas, the favourite. So what brings him here?
After Olympics, for this year, I thought that I wanted to do an Ironman, so the first Ironman that came to my mind was Lanzarote. I have been here a lot of time training. The bike course is hard. I like it. I like hard bike courses, and it's in Spain, so for us it's a perfect race.
So Lanos, I suppose, does start at the favourite, but he's been injured. Gert Schellens on the left, finished 4th last year, and that's Einar Lar Johansson from Estonia, finished 5th last year. Schellens is from Belgium with the Estonian. So they're just about ready to start this 14th running of Ironman Canarias, Ironman Lanzarote, and the age groupers, they're just a little ways up the beach, about 20 metres behind the professional men and women. We've got about 100 professionals and over 700 athletes as they start the journey of many, the journey of a lifetime. This really is the most exciting part of any Ironman, to see so many athletes start what will be an incredible day. Sadness and joy. That's what sport is all about. Well, the sun is just about rising over the back there at Puerto del Carmen as the leaders head out towards the first buoy. 3.8 kilometres, that's 2.4 miles of ocean swim. It's 2 laps. After the first lap, halfway, they'll come out of the water, run around the buoy and go back into the water. underwater shots are tremendous in these beautiful clear waters of the Atlantic Ocean. You can see they are wearing wetsuits. The water temperature is in the low 20s, so they are allowed to wear wetsuits. In pink, that is the defending champion, and already she's leading the women's race. Up front for the men, well, we've got an Argentinian, Francisco Potano Rodan, and with him, the Llanos brothers. Also in there is Clemens Konen from Germany. That in the silver cap is Llanos, Nico Llanos. And right on the boat side of him in gold is the number 2 of last year, Stefan Liebertrau. He really has been the bridesmaid here on a couple of occasions, and I suppose this year is his best bet. This is Beresitegi a little bit. She's back in about 15th, 16th position, and you can see on the far side in blue, that was Felix Martinez. Swimming is not his forte. Biking perhaps is the best part of his Ironman event. The Frenchman René Rivera won the race last year, but this is the best Frenchman, the only French professional in the field, Richard Massot, with the plum-coloured cap. And this is some of the safest swimming waters around here. It's, as you can see, not particularly deep, nice and safe. So the leaders now at the far end of the swim course. And looking back, you can see they really are spread out all the way through. The best, they'll be out in about 45 minutes. The record here is held by Nick Croft of Australia back in '94. He went 42.24. But this is our leader. This is the Argentinian pro, Francisco Potano Roldan. Nico Llanos right on his feet, and his brother Hector is right behind him. Also up there is Thomas Petra from the Czech Republic. And a little further back, that's the blue and gold color cap of Régine Depro, a French professional woman. Back to the front with Nico Llanos in second place. He is the favorite. Of course, he's better known for Xterra. He's a 2-time Xterra world champion. Liebertrau, he's just a little bit off the pace. He's in what, around about 6th, 7th position at the moment as they're heading back towards the end of first lap. Also in that lead group is Stephen Bayliss of Great Britain and Jens Kofeld of Denmark, the first age grouper. Beautiful shots, and you can clearly see that the business part of swimming is done under the water. Well, this is sad. This is Britain's William Newton. He's retired after, well, 20 minutes of swimming, and that is sad. It's an expensive swim, isn't it? I think it costs something like $400 to enter the race, $400. Yeah, an expensive 20 minutes in the water. Leaders ending the first lap. It's Roldan, Nico Llanos, Hector Llanos, and Thomas Petra in that first group of 4 athletes. Then there's a bit of a break before we get the likes of Liebertrau. But he knows that he's not too worried at this stage, because biking is certainly his forte, his strongest part, as they dive back in, and now they've got to do it all again. It looks like Bayliss going around, young British pro. And here's number 2 last year. He wears number 1 this year, Stefan Liebertrau of Germany. He looks back. I'm not sure why he's looking back at this stage. It's pretty early days, as now he dives back in. He looks up and he can see the others, maybe 50, 60 meters. This is Felix Martinez of Spain. He was the favorite last year. Right beside him, the First Lady, Virginia Beresitegi, and she's what, in 16th, 17th position. This is great swimming by Virginia Beresitegi. She heads back now into the water. She's got a big lead over the likes of Tina Bowman and Bianca Van Dijk, who are in 2nd and 3rd places respectively. I think this is Louisa Edmonston of Scotland in her first Ironman, coming back towards the end of the first lap, and well, she has a bit of a tussle there with one of the gentlemen. One of the problems is it's tough to see. There's so many swimmers around it. This is 2nd, Tina Bouwman and Virginia Van Dijk of Holland, who finished, what, 4th, 3rd last, well, about 2 or 3 years ago. That was her best performance, as they head back now on the 2nd lap. Also up there is in Sophie Devron of Sweden is in 4th place for the women. She just goes back in there, and Louisa Edmondson of Great Britain is in 5th position. Gillian Backer in the green cap finished 2nd last year from Canada, but not having a good day at the moment, as back with our lead woman, Virginia Beresitegi, and she is the only woman in the field And in fact, only athlete, I think, in the field who doesn't wear goggles in the swim. Very unusual considering this is pretty salty water. And the fish, well, they're enjoying it. And swimming like a fish is the leader, Francesco Potana Roldan, as he heads back. But starting his second lap in last place is the German, Wolfgang Kadu. Well, he is in his early 60s, so he can be forgiven for being quite a ways back. So the leader's now coming back towards the end of this opening discipline in the Ironman, the 3.8 kilometer, 2.4 miles swim. Out first is Francesco Potana Roldan. He's been in front throughout, and he's out of the water in just under 48 minutes, 47 minutes, 43 seconds. Right behind him, Nico Lanas, 3 seconds adrift in 47.46. Hector Lanas, 47.49, and Thomas Petra, 47.53, making up that first group of four. This is Stefan Liebertrau back in 7th position, 50 minutes 58. So he's 3 minutes behind the leaders as he heads up to the Parc Fermé, the bike park. These are the leaders now up at the bags. They'll find their bag, they'll go in the changing room, and then it's a quick change, the quickest they can, before they head out to find the bike and out on the 112-mile bike course. They're the Llanos brothers, and some of the others now beach themselves on the beach at Puerto del Carmen. Takes all types, doesn't it? Breaststroke, front crawl, whatever you want to do, you've just got to complete this 2.4 mile swim. For many, this is the toughest part. Normally they've got to get in under 2.5 hours. We've seen it many times in the Hawaii Ironman World Championship that some have not made the cutoff time, and that's pretty sad for all the training, because a lot of these, as I said, this is the toughest part, and once they get out on the bike, they're far better prepared. So very well prepared is Virginia Beres-Ortega. Right behind, you can see in the blue cap is Martinez. They're well off the pace of the leaders, 52.10 minutes, so they're just under 5 minutes back for Martinez. He's got some work to do, but Virginia Beres-Ortega leading certainly is in a nice, safe, she has the comfort zone as Roldan, the Llanos brothers, Petra, they head out now on the bike course. It's basically a circumnavigation of the island of Lanzarote. Looks like some Bayless coming out. Second and third for the women, Tina Bowman and Bianca Van Dijk. So we're on the bike course. This is the leader. This is the man from Argentina, Francesco Potana Roldan, the only Argentinian in the race. That's not true, actually. There are two of them. There are athletes from 32 countries making up this field of over 800 athletes. And in second position, the younger of the Llanos brothers. This is Aniko, the two-time Xterra world champion. And just down the road, dropping off the pace now, is Hector Lanas, his elder brother, who has won in the past the Spanish long-distance championships. And for the women, it's Virginia Beres-Ortega. Last year, she went off and she had something like a 12-13 minute lead off the bike, and I suspect in her mind she wants to do it again this year so she can really enjoy, lap up the run, the final run. This is Tina Bauman of Finland in second place. Too easy to train for an Ironman when you live in Finland. She's probably been on the mountain bike, cross-country skiing all the winter. And in third position is Bianca Van Dijk. In fact, Bauman and Van Dijk were given the same time coming out of the water, 55 minutes and 17 seconds. This is Stefan Haus from Germany, and he has a special reason for being here.
Because of me being here at the Canarian Ironman, because of Alisa being here at the Iron Kids, we thought this is something very special for us, for the family. So when my wife's been pregnant, we've been informed by the doctors that the kid will be ill. So we had to make a decision when she was born whether she will have surgery or not. We decided to have surgery because she would not be able to live on her own. And so the day she was born, she had surgery, and since then she's recovering perfect. So for us, it's some sort of a miracle. Then it's some sort of a shock when you've been told by the doctors that unfortunately the child will not be well. So yeah, that was a very, very hard time for us. It was our first baby. Alisa now has a little sister, Elena, a 3-year-old one, and yeah, so that was a very tough time for the whole family. But yeah, now we're here, waiting for the Iron Kid to take off.
Well, Lisa gets some advice from her father, and it's the race for her. It's an aquathlon, they call it the Iron Kid. Swim and a run.
It's special for us, and there's many other kids that need help. We got in touch with a charity organization back in Germany. It's called the Frankfurter Stiftung für krebskranke Kinder. It's a charity organization for kids with cancer. And we decided to sell every single meter I am racing here, so 226 in total, and just sell them. When I will cross the finish line, I'll have a check, and it has a number of 25,000 euros on it, and that amount of money will be donated for the kids with cancer.
Good luck to Stefan, and congratulations to Alicia. She is an Iron Kid. Back out now with the men's race. They've gone round El Golfo, and this is Anico Flanas leading for Spain. Francisco Putana Rodan has been blown out the back end, and this is where Flanos really has to stamp his authority on the race. He's not been well in the last couple of months. He's had a little injury and has not been able to run so much, so he knows the swimming and the biking are in great shape, but he's not so sure what's going to happen on the run. Stefan Liebertrau now is in second place, where he finished last year, and he is going like a train. Just remember, he was something like over 3 minutes behind Anico, and he's now, well, you can see him up the road. He really is going extremely fast. And Hector Lanas, the elder brother of Anico, well, he's not enjoying it so much. He's dropping off the pace, and this is where it gets tough. Third woman, this is Tina Baumann of Finland, getting some early food in. Very important to keep the fluids high and the food level up, because they're certainly going to burn a lot of calories, especially in this heat. As Bianca van Dijk from Holland, second place. She was second with Baumann out of the water, has now gone into second place and chasing down the women's leader, Virginia Berasategui.
Well, this year has been a little bit complicated because I have been about 2 months with a virus similar to the mononucleosis. So it was 1 month to see that I was sick. So it was very hard. I couldn't train. I had to stop because at first of the season I wanted to try to get the qualification for Hawaii in South Africa, but I couldn't train, so I decided to come here again. I think the destiny wanted me to be here again. So it has been hard, but I think that now in this moment, I think it's the best moment of the season, and I just want to enjoy like the last year and to do the best, and everyone enjoy with me with the race. And if I win, okay, but if it's not and I give the best of me, it will be okay too.
Well, giving the best of him is Stefan Liebertrau in second position, going very hard. So what were his tactics?
I don't change my tactics. I'll just focus on myself, try to get on my bike as fast as possible and hammer over the mountains, and yeah, see how long I can keep up there.
Well, that's just what he's doing, hammering. They're now on Team and Fire, the Fire Mountains, and Libertrao has just passed Nico Lanas, and he is in number 1 position. He wears number 1, and he is in the pole position. Not far behind Nico Lanas. His brother Hector is further down the road, and Nico, well, it's not been the greatest preparation for this race.
Oh, it was perfect until 2 months ago, when I get injured and I lost some weeks of running. I couldn't run for a couple of months. I still could do the swim and the bike, but the run, I don't know how it's going to be.
Well, it's not the running he's got to worry about, it's the biking. He is certainly suffering a little bit. That's Ainola Johansson from Estonia, is also on the charge. And right behind him, Felix Martinez. Martinez from Spain. A lot of pressure last year, couldn't take it. A little more relaxed this year, but I think there's a little negativity. He doesn't think he can win because of the Llanos brothers racing in here, so that's not easy.
Yo este año la verdad es que igual lo tengo un poco difícil. Pienso continuar el año que viene y me gustaría venir más fuerte todavía, pero bueno, también los años van pasando y bueno, yo si no es este año tengo otro año más para intentarlo. Y no sé, la verdad es que hay 2 participantes muy buenos españoles este año que son Héctor y Eneco Llanos y la verdad es que lo pueden hacer muy bien. Pero bueno, la carrera es muy larga y son carreras de 9 horas que la verdad es que son difíciles y ya veremos a ver lo que pasa.
Well, this is the Estonian, Johansson, moving through the field. Poor swim by his standards, but now great biking. And he is, the biggest athlete, the biggest triathlete in the field. 1.9 meters, 6'2", I think he is. 90 odd kilos. But this really is a wonderful place to compete. This is El Golfo. If you have time, you've just got to look around and enjoy the beautiful vistas that this volcanic island offers. Of course, the downside is you're in an Ironman, as nothing is easy. So anything that gives you some enjoyment, some relaxation, is well worth it. Yep, for some it's a good day, for others it's not going to be a good day. The Scots girl, Louisa Edmondson, in her first Ironman, climbing up Team on Fire. She's in it, she's mixing it with the men. The age groupers, the professionals, everyone competes over the same course. And here we are. This is an important move. This is Ainola Johansson on the left of the picture, going past, surprisingly early in the race, Nico Lanas. Lanas really has problems. And we understand he has stomach problems, like his brother. Maybe the paella the night before wasn't to their liking. I don't know, but certainly they've not got the nutrition right. But Ainola Johansson has.
I'm not a good swimmer, so I cannot have any tactics, because when I come out from the water, my race will start, and if I have a good day, I might catch all guys. If I'm not so good, just less, but I just have to go as fast as I can.
Well, he's only got one man to catch, and this is Stefan Libertrao. Libertrao was first off the bike last year. He's been first off the bike maybe 3 or 4 times in his journey here at Lanzarote. First off the bike for the women last year was Virginia, and she's doing it just the same. And here she goes. She's going past Hector Lanas. So Hector Lanas' days are numbered. She asks him how he is, and he tells her, well, not too good. I've got stomach problems. I can't eat. I feel sick. It's not my day. Yeah, there we go. He can't take in the nutrition, which you have to do. You think of the number of calories you're going to burn up. So it's a great day for the Spanish women, but not so good for the Spanish men. Hector Lanas is suffering, and Nico Lanas is suffering. And just up ahead, we've heard that Felix Martinez has come to grief as well. He's come off his bike. And so really, the Spanish are starting to suffer, except for Virginia Beres-Ortega. She did the business last year. Here we are, number 2. This is Felix Martinez. Is he okay? I think he's okay. There we are, I'm okay, he says. So not a great day for the Spanish men. But there is a Spanish man who's doing well. This is number 643, Diego Velasquez. He suffers from multiple sclerosis. He's entered the Ironman for the second time. He didn't win it last year, but this year, he didn't win it, he didn't complete it last year, but this year he's come back bigger, stronger than ever, and he really has having a wonderful day. The host club is Club La Santa, and if you want some a nice holiday with lots of sports, this is certainly the place to come. The women, well, they're going through Famara. This is the third placed woman, Tina Bowman from Finland. And up ahead, this is what she's got to do. She's got to climb up to Mirador Aria. How's it going? It's over 700 meters to the top of there. Louisa Edmondson was she in fourth position, I think? In fact, now she's in third position. Bowman now is back in
I think there's quite a few.
fourth position.
Good for the support. All for you.
So she is, well, she's having a chat with the cameraman. And up in front of her is Bianca Van Dijk. I was just saying 112 miles of biking, but it's over 2,500 meters of vertical climbing in this race. Over 7,000 feet of climbing. And on the big climb, starting the big climb up to Mirador Aria, is Virginia Berasategui. It really is a drag up over here, and then they whip down the other side into Aria, and then it's the final climb up to Mirador del Rio. And on the big climb further up towards the top is the lead man, Stefan Liebertrau, and you can see he is grunting, he's groaning up there. This is in second place, Einar Lar Johansson, and look at the gear this boy's turning. He's got all the weight, it's easy for him, he just drops his weight on the pedal and up he goes. He has got a big gear here, but he is a big, strong man looking to improve on last year where he's fifth. Of course, an Estonian has won an Ironman. Litvashenko, Kirill Litvashenko won Ironman Lake Placid a few years ago. This is a sad sight. This is Nico Klanas just cruising, isn't he? He's lost all interest in this race. He knows he can't win it. He's just going to cruise, and certainly in the next few minutes, I suspect he would withdraw. So this is Dikiza, the old castle. It looks out over Lanzarote. It's the old capital of Lanzarote in the olden days, because Arrecife is the capital now. This is Tina Baumann of Finland in fourth position. She had some problems and Louisa Edmondson went past her, but now she's got back into her gear again, and you can see cooling off. It is really, really warm as they're making their way up the big climb to Aria. Just up in front is Louisa Edmondson of Great Britain, the Scottish lass from Aberdeen in her first Ironman. And really, Baumann now is going for broke. But what she has got to be careful of is pushing too hard, because this is a long, long climb. I mentioned 2,500 meters of climbing, but she's certainly going to move into third place with Van Dijk only in front of her. We asked Baumann her memories of Ironman racing, because in the past, really everything hasn't gone quite right for her.
I was very disappointed after my first Ironman race in Almere last year, because I got 2 flat tires, and somewhere I got the idea the next race is in Lanzarote. And I think if you make it here, you can make it easier in Hawaii.
Well, here, something like 75 people will qualify. The top 3 professional women will make the spot for the Ironman Hawaii World Championships in October. It's the second place, Bianca Van Dijk, and up front is Berasategui. Didn't have great experiences, as I mentioned earlier, in Hawaii. For the men, there are 7 professional slots, and all the other spots are for the age groupers, because the Hawaii Ironman World Championship is a race for men, women, age groupers and professional. Going well now is Stefan Riesen of Switzerland, the current Ironman France champion. He's moved through now into third place behind this man, Einar Lar Johansson, as he makes the big climb up to what is, for me, the most beautiful part on this island, Mirador del Rio. Although at this place they know that what they want to do is descend. Descending is our leader, Stefan Liebertrau. He really is hurtling down here. They go down here 50, 60 miles an hour. It really is a great descent if you've got the nerves. And on the other descent from Maria are Tina Baumann and Louisa Edmondson. We saw them having a real battle royal on the climb, and now having a real battle royal on the descent. This is behind. Again, you can see that Edmondson has gone past her. I think she went past her at the feed station at the top. And Baumann now has to go past Edmondson again. So it really is a real cat and mouse between these two girls.
I've always wanted to do an Ironman, and last year when I got into long course racing, I thought, well, if I'm going to do one, it's going to be this one. And then my coach and I decided that, yeah, it would be this one. So here I am. I've been a bit in Spain, and then I've just come back from spending 3 months in Australia, training on the Gold Coast where my coach is based now. Yes, so I've had a bit of warmer weather than Scotland. Well, firstly, being my first Ironman is to cross the line, and secondly, just to know I can do myself proud and go as hard as I can. I know that I can go. I've done the training, and so it's all just what happens on the day, really.
Well, in her first Ironman, she's doing pretty damn good. She's up there battling for major honours, and who knows, top 3? She could be in Hawaii this year, but certainly Virginia Beresatega, unless she has a real disaster, is looking good for Hawaii once again this year. And I think last year will be a great learning curve. That was Van Dijk in second position, and in third position, just pulling away from Louisa Edmondson, is Tina Baumann. You can just see Edmondson a little further back, mixing it with a couple of the professional men and some of the age groupers. Now heading back towards Puerto de Carmen, coming up towards the end of this bike ride, is Stefan Liebertrau, the lead man. And he's got something like 5 minutes or so on this man, Anila Johansson from Estonia. So this is going to be interesting. Liebertrau has died before on the run, and Johansson, he's done a similar thing. Mirador Riedel with Tina Baumann. Is she going to enjoy the view? Is she going to have a little peek? There we go. She has a little peek just to enjoy it. Louisa Edmondson right behind her. You can see the different styles going up this fearsome climb. It looks beautiful from here, but for them it is very hard indeed. And as they make the top of the feed station, before they make the right-hand turn of the big descent back towards Puerto de Carmen, and further back at the start of the climb, yeah, this is the real heart and soul of the Ironman. These are the Odi-Godis, and those not really built for speed, perhaps built for comfort. But one thing they have in common, they're all enjoying it. Athletes from 32 countries, one of our Japanese friends. And well, if you can't climb up the big climb, you might have to walk. But Stefan Liebertrau now coming back into Puerto de Carmen. Huge crowds out once again to support them. This is Liebertrau now. Bike ride, 4 hours, 57 minutes, 21 seconds. The course record here is 10 minutes quicker by Thomas Hellriegel. He went to 4:47 back in 1995. But of course, it's very difficult to compare like with unlike. And today it's certainly been extremely windy. Race time, 5 hours, 50 minutes and 32 seconds for Liebertrau. And some 5 minutes later, in comes Einar Johansson from Estonia. His bike ride about the same time, but he's 5 up, 5 minutes back. And that was the deficit after the swim. So Johansson, he's got some running to do, and being a big guy in this heat, perhaps not on his side. This is Stefan Riesen in third position, coming back towards the Parc Fermé, as Einar Johansson, after a quick metamorphosis from biker to runner, heads out on this final marathon run. 4 laps of 10 kilometers, making up the 42 kilometers, and now heading along the beach of Puerto de Carmen towards Arrecife, past towards the airport, is our leader Stefan Liebertrau. Here's Riesen coming into the Parc Fermé. 5 hours, 10 minutes and 16 seconds for his bike split. 6 hours, 10 minutes of race time. He is 19 minutes, yes, 19 minutes and 39 seconds. As our lead woman now is heading back towards Puerto de Carmen. This is Virginia Beresatega, the defending champion. world long distance champion a few years ago. His recent heading out onto the final run as some of the others. Schellens from Belgium comes in 4th position. He holds the run record here. He ran an incredible 2:44 last year, so if he gets his skates on, although he is something like 20 minutes and 27 seconds behind Stefan Liebertrau. 20 minutes. I've seen something like 11 minutes, 13 minutes once caught up in the World Championships in Hawaii. Right behind him, we've got the likes of Kofeld of Denmark, Kuhnen from Germany, as they all have a quick chance to cool off in the changing tent before they head out into the heat. And it is really hot here. It's in the high 90s on the beach here. Bit of breeze, so that'll keep them cool, but really now the plan for the day is to keep cool, keep the fluids up, just to survive this marathon run. So there's Schellens with Kuhnen, the German, leaving on the final journey of 26.2 miles, the traditional marathon run. Einar Johansson getting into his stride, and what a big stride it is. He's he's well over 6 feet. Liebertrau's not too short either. He's up there in 6 feet as well. So this is Liebertrau, the leader. And one thing he's always suffered from is the run here. Big guys tend to lose more fluid, but someone who's not big, someone who's leading, is Virginia Beresatega. She's coming off now the 112-mile bike ride. 5 hours, 51 minutes, 54 seconds is her bike split, and we're going to have to wait some considerable time before we see the likes of Bianca Van Dijk and Tina Bowman, Louisa Edmondson, and we understand Andrea Breda from Germany is in 5th position, but she's a long, long way back, something like 20-25 minutes adrift of Virginia Beresatega, who has made a huge mistake. She's run right past her bag, and unless she gets her bag, well, that's going to get the adrenaline flowing, isn't it, if nothing else? So she knows she's got a big lead, but she doesn't want to throw silly time away, does she? So she gets her bag, because within the bag, well, someone else collecting the bag is Nico Lanas. This is Lanas now. He has dropped out along with his brother Hector, and he's called it a day, and he's going to have a good siesta. Well, he's Spanish, isn't he? So, Beresatega has at last got her act together. She's found her running shoes, and she heads out now on the final marathon run. This is Stefan Haas, the man running for kids in cancer. And he's going well. He's heading back. He's over most of the tough parts. And he tells us he will be at the finish line. And it looks as though Diego Velasquez, also from Spain, the man with multiple sclerosis, is having a better day than last year. He's also heading back towards Puerto del Carmen. Liebertrau on the second lap of 4, making up this marathon course. 4 laps of 10 kilometers. And this is Einar Johansson going down. He was 5 minutes behind him, and he's now down to about 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, as they head out now on their 3rd lap. As our second placed woman, this is Bianca Van Dijk. She heads out onto the run course. 5:59 was her bike split. And she's something like 13 minutes 25 seconds behind the lead woman here, Virginia Beresatega. She's coming up now on the return part of lap 1, so she really does have a huge lead. It was just like, well, I suppose for her it's deja vu. It was just like this last year, and I think this time she's going to flavour this victory, because there's no doubt she's going to win unless something really dramatic happens, and I can't see a lady of her stature having that much of a problem. So Schellens now in 3rd position. He's caught Stefan Riesen from Switzerland. This is not too surprising, because Gerrit Schellens of Belgium does have the fastest run split here, and the man who won Ironman France last year, this is Stefan Riesen from Switzerland. is starting to suffer just a little bit in the heat. You can see it is very warm indeed. Einar Johansson catches 1 sponge, 2 sponge, 3 sponge. It really is exceedingly warm, and when you're a big guy like this guy, well over 6 feet, 95 kilos, you need every bit of fluid you can, because you know you're going to get rid of you're going to sweat a huge amount of liquid off in these conditions. I'm not sure if this is the latest design in shoulder pads by the Estonian, but at any rate, anything to keep you cool. Well, here we are. This is Stefan Liebertrau just up the road, who's also struggling. He really is struggling. What's he got, 3 or 4 bottles of water, cups of water? He really is gushing it down, isn't he? Just a little different pace here, isn't it, by the lead woman. She looks far more relaxed. One of the age groups there looks across and says, well, I would surely like to run like you. Another battle behind. Louisa Edmondson now. She's gone past Van Dijk, who I understand, I've heard, has dropped out of the race. So leading is Vera Sategi, and in second place is Edmondson. In third place is Tina Baumann here, who was just in front of Edmondson, but on the charge, this is Andrea Breda of Germany, going for broke. There, she's gone past Tina Baumann. This girl can certainly run. Look at the difference in cadence of her and Baumann as she went past. Now she's in third position. Edmondson is a little bit up the road. So what about her preparations?
I was here for a week in February to see the roads and stuff and the course. And yeah, then I had a lot of rain in Germany the last weeks, but that was not a good preparation, but I hope it was enough to be here for a week. I would like to qualify for Hawaii, and here you have 3 slots. It's more than anywhere else. I mean, more than in Austria and Switzerland, and so I'd like to try it here.
Well, she's trying exceptionally well at the moment. She's in third spot, so Hawaii is looking good. This is Liebertrau leading, and you can look back there, you can see the mountain bike, and Einar Johansson is behind him. So, well, that 5-minute lead, over 5 minutes of lead, now on lap 3, is down to, well, maybe 1.5 minutes or so, as Vera Sategi goes through the loop to start her second lap. Here she goes, waves to the crowd. She's pretty relaxed, isn't she? She really is lapping up this event. Last year there was a lot of pressure on her. The previous year Maribel Blanco of Spain had won this race. In fact, Blanco won it in 2002, 2003. So for the last 3 years a Spanish woman has won this race, and it looks as though it's going to be 4 in a row. But an Estonian has never won this race. An Estonian has won Lake Placid, Ironman Lake Placid, but Liebertrau is starting to struggle, isn't he? So this is Liebertrau going around the turn to start his, I think his last lap. And not that far behind, as we saw, is, here he is, Einar Johansson. He's now under a minute behind him, and Liebertrau is under a tremendous amount of pressure. You look at both of them, they both look like they're sort of struggling along here, but I think just the stature, the stride of Einar Johansson is really eating up the ground and closing the gap. Well, closing the gap is also Andrea Breda. She's now coming up to Louisa Edmondson. So she was, 5th or 6th off the bike. She was way back. She was 25 minutes adrift of Vera Sategi. She was something like 6 minutes behind Edmondson, and now she's past Edmondson. She's now in second position. And poor Louisa Edmondson is now in third position. She's, well, it's her first Ironman. It's her first Ironman for Breda. And both of them now in the position that they can go to Hawaii. And someone going to Hawaii is certainly going to be Einar Johansson. He's caught and he's passed Stefan Liebertrau. So Liebertrau, always the bridesmaid, and he's going to be the bridesmaid once again, or is he? He's making a bit of an effort here. He's back on his shoulder, but I think the long striding Estonian has said, well, you've got to catch me now. I'm not going to lose this one. He really is concentrating, isn't he? No smiling like Virginia Vera Sategi. He really is, well, he's really enjoying this one inside, but emotionally, he's keeping it to himself. Well, keeping it to himself is also Diego Velázquez, our man with multiple sclerosis. He's at the turn at the Hotel Beatrice, as you can see, and he's got a few problems. He's cramped up a little bit, and is this bad news? Well, we certainly hope not. Now he's back. He says, he says, I've got a little medical problem. I've got a bit of cramp, but I've got through it, and I'm going to keep going. Well, he really is keeping going, isn't he? As is Virginia Berasategui. Wonderful story for Velázquez, and it's another wonderful story that Virginia Berasategui is going to win consecutively here in Lanzarote, and it looks as though it's going to be the first time an Estonian is going to win. This is Aino Johansson on the run-in, picks up the Estonian flag. This is a wonderful performance by Johansson. He's going to join his compatriot Litvashenko as a winner of an Ironman, but he's going to win Ironman Lanzarote. He swam 52:26, he biked 4 hours 57, and he ran 2 hours 58 for the marathon for a total time of 8 hours 55 minutes and 37 seconds. That's our champion, Aino Johansson from Estonia. And in second place, just as he was last year, Stefan Liebertrau of Germany, 8 hours, 57 minutes and 9 seconds for the German. And Gerrit Schellens, well, his time last year for the run was 2 hours 44:38, and this year is 2 hours 44:29. It's a new run record, and our third place is Gerrit Schellens. But what about our champion?
And on the run it was really hard because it's very hot today. And as I am a really big guy, I have to cool down myself a lot of times. So I had a lot of showers with a punch, and thanks, it was pretty close, but happy finish.
Well, another happy finish is the first Spaniard. He's actually from Lanzarote. This is 601. This is Cesar Morales of Spain, the first Spaniard in Ironman Lanzarote. And great support for Virginia Berasategui. For the second consecutive year, she is the Ironman Lanzarote champion. She swam 52:10. She biked 5 hours 51. She ran 3 hours 20 for a total time of 10 hours, 9 minutes and 39 seconds. Not the quickest, but it's certainly one of the toughest days on record here in Lanzarote. And Virginia Berasategui has overcome that. Tears of joy last year, but I think this year it's not quite tears of joy, but she really is delighted to be the champion once again. The Minister of Sport for Lanzarote there to meet her, as is Kenneth Gass, the race director since the beginning of this fantastic event, the toughest of Ironman in the world. And in second place, what a tough run by this girl, Andrea Brader. Her run split is 3 hours 15, and that's not far off the record of Paula Newby-Fraser, who went 3:09 a few years ago. What was it, 1995? So Andrea Brader of Germany is second, and Louisa Edmondson in her first Ironman for Great Britain finishes third. So she is off to Hawaii, 10 hours 40 minutes and 18 seconds.
Oh, you know, the first one is very special, but I don't know, this one, after such a hard winter, this one is special too, and I think that win is always special, and with these people and all my friends that are here supporting me. This year is special because of that. My best friend, my sponsors, my trainer, I don't know, too much people here with me.
Well, great stuff, and great stuff by Diego Velázquez, the man with multiple sclerosis. He didn't finish last year when he came and tried it for the first time, but this year, a heavier man, but that's not made any difference. He is now an Ironman, and you can see he really is delighted. Wonderful stuff. And congratulations also to Stefan Haas, the man raising money for kids with cancer. He's got Alicia there running beside and his younger daughter, and they've raised the money.
But I'm very proud of Alisa and the family, and especially very proud of the hosts who helped us to get a total of 25,000 euros for 226 Iron kilometers for the kids with cancer. I'm very proud of the people helping us here. Great. It was really worth it.
Well, it was really worth it for everyone. And now the party really begins. We now wait and sit and watch all these age groupers come across the line to become Ironman. And there's always that threat of the 17-hour barrier. The time clicks, they just keep finishing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, the 14th running of Ironman. Well, yeah, that's all you get. I hope you've enjoyed this, the 14th edition of Ironman Lanzarote. This is Ian Sweet wishing you well. See you next year.